Hello and welcome to the channel. This time around I'm going to be working on an adapter for the Harley. After tipping the bike a couple times over its lifetime of 17 years, I've always been afraid of when I tip it on the left hand side and when I do lift it, I go over center and just make it flop on the right hand side. So what I've decided to do is build a portable adapter to go onto the frame to prevent it from tipping over and causing extra issues. So I'll go through the process of building this thing. Hopefully it'll work, and I guess time will tell. I'll just have to do a few measurements. There's a spot in the frame that's there. There's 3-inch section of frame on both sides that are clear, so I can use those two areas to mount this device. And it's got to be portable enough to just stick in the saddlebag, and hopefully I'll make it light enough. Hard to say with the equipment I've got here. I'm sure a lightweight tubing would probably be better, but I'm very limited on that. I'll just use a regular black pipe that you can get at the local hardware store. So here goes. I measured the frame tubes under the bike, and their outside diameter is 1.25 inches. I found this one piece of pipe that is, I forget what it is inside. It's a little bit bigger. It is 1.385. So that'll give it a little bit of play, but it'll be sufficient to hold it in place. So I'll try to use this stuff. And I found a piece of smaller diameter pipe to connect to it. And that should work. I think the length is okay. And I'll just use a piece of flat bar to make a little foot for it. So hopefully this all works, and one way to find out, just build it. So here's a 3-inch section that I'm going to cut off. Then I'll split it in half, right in half, and I'll be using both ends, one at the very end and one in the middle to meet with the other piece of frame. And I think that'll be pretty simple. Here we go. The pipe's cut in half. Almost, not perfect half, but pretty close. So the idea behind this is you have your 2 simulated frame rails under the bike, and then this will be welded to one end. What it'll do is actually it'll go this way. this will be the top, bottom, and then this guy will go here. They're actually spread wider, and weld that. And all you have to do is reach in, clip it on there, and attach or just rest it against the other frame. What I'll do is I'll just probably get some Velcro or something, and just keep it steady so it doesn't fall down, of course. And I think that'll work okay. So we'll weld it up and do some tests. Okay, this is what I've got so far. Two pieces are welded on, and this guy will go over top of the frame on the far side. This one goes in here. When I made this piece, or I welded it on, I gave it a single tack and then tried it on the bike. Had to do a few adjustments with a special tool that I use here, and aligned it. Then I did the final welds. The welds just have to be cleaned up yet, and the corners have to be rounded off, make it a little bit better. But it's not as compact as I'd like it to be. So what I'll do is I'll cut it off over here, and I found a sleeve, a leftover piece I had from some other project. That's a nice tight fit. Go over here, and I'll weld it to this piece, and then I'll just get a pin to go through here to hold it. So when you put it in the saddlebag, it'll be half the size. So it's not that heavy. The bike's heavy to start with. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll use this piece of thin plating just to put over here and shape it. So I have a good base when I do put the bike down on that side. And as a bonus, this thing may be used for, let's say you're changing the primary case oil, then you don't want to tilt it on the left-hand side. If you don't want to put it on a lift, it's kind of a pain to put this bike on my lift. I have a high lift, and you got to be really careful with it. So in order to get it perfectly vertical, then you can use this and just block the two ends between the Jiffy stand and this thing to get it perfectly vertical when you're checking the final oil level. So I'll just finish this up and do a little demo later on, and we'll see how it works. Here we go. I cut the tube to accommodate the sleeve. Slides in nice. There's just a little bit of play, which is actually good because it's a little high at this end. I may have to trim this down a little bit more to get the angle right, but I think it'll be okay. I'm also going to do, this will be welded on this side. What I'm also going to do is when I drill the pinhole, the hole for the pin at this end, I'll slot it a little bit, just a little bit, to allow for any deviations in the terrain. So with the foot on there, it'll be able to compensate a little bit at least. So I'll give that a shot. So a little bit of welding, and I got to get a spring pin, but it'll just be a 1/4 inch. Let's put it together. Here we go, all cleaned up, ready for welding. I'll weld this side, like I mentioned earlier. Pin over here, and then I'll just put this plate at the bottom here. So weld it up, do a few tests, and it should work all right. Okay, it's almost done. 2-piece compact unit. When it comes time to use it, hopefully you never have to use it, but it'd be good to have just in case. Just put it together. I haven't put the pin in there yet, and I haven't welded the foot yet. I just want to see if the foot, the thickness of the foot is enough to throw the balance off a little bit. So you just find your frame, put it onto the frame, put this here, and see how it goes. Make sure it's all the way in, because I've got to be careful right now with it, without it being pinned. Yeah, I've got to trim the bottom a little bit, because the only way I can get it to stay there is by turning the bars to the right. So I'll do some trimming and do a few adjustments, and that should take care of it. I want to make sure it's right before I do the final, assembly and painting and all that stuff. Here we go. I've got the holes drilled. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stay with straight holes. I don't think I'll slot it right now because when I did the drilling, I had it mounted on the ground, nice flat surface. So this will give me a real straight shot at it. And I put a little curl on the foot so it can slide a little bit better when we put the bike down. So I'll just do a test run right now with it actually mounted on there. So I'm just going to use a 1/4-inch bolt for now. So I'll just put it through here once it's lined up. Here we go. It's lined up, and I'll use these strips of Velcro that I got. I think I got these. It's a big roll I got. I think it was from Harbor Freight. It's been a while, but I can't remember for sure. So I'll just use that. Here we go. It's secure. So let's see how this goes. There you go. It's going to work. So at this point in time, I'll just clean up some of the edges, and I'll give it a paint job and in the saddlebags. Well, here it is, final product. Turned out pretty good. I got a quick release pin here. When you're storing it, it's compact. I'll just make myself a bag to hold it in the saddlebags. And time for a quick full-on test. Not like I like tipping my bike over, but it's the only way to try it. So there you go. I guess you could probably build something like this for almost any type of bike. It just depends on how the frame's configured. So time for a quick test, and hopefully everything goes well. And it should hold the bike. It's pretty strong, no doubt about that. So let's go. We'll do a little demo. Let's say you're riding by yourself in the middle of nowhere. Maybe the GPS led you there. Maybe it's by choice. But you stop and you try to settle the bike so you can look at, who knows, look at scenery or something. And you put your foot down, and guess what? There's a pothole there, and you can't stop the bike. All of a sudden, down she goes. No point in stopping it because you're not going to do it. So now you've seen countless videos on how to lift the bikes, and I'm just going to bring it up and use a tool to do it. So what I'll do here is I've got the adapter in the saddlebag on the right side, and take it out. And I don't even have to strap that up. Take it out of here. Okay. Got the two parts. And hopefully the wind won't blow it away. What I'll do is I'll install the frame part first so it doesn't try to walk away on me. Okay, I have to take my glass off because I can't see under there. All right. These two straps on the right. No, that's the left side. One. Here's two. Okay. Yeah. Last one on the right side. quick release with the extension. All right, now we'll just walk it up and hope I'm still able to do this. It's been a while. And this is where where you lose a little confidence. And there it is. Putting weight on, there goes my sheets. And then you can put the kickstand down, turn the handlebars to the right. There it is. So it's up. That didn't take a whole lot of effort, actually. There you go. So now, just have to take it off. If I can find the end of the Velcro, we'll take off the extension. One strap. Two straps. There you go. I could probably do it again, but I don't want to. In fact, I'm in my driveway right now. The incline is more to the left, so I had to lift a little more than I had to than on a flat surface. And this is a 750-pound bike. I'm only 5'3" and pushing 70 years old, so pretty much anyone can do this. So I hope this helps a bit and maybe inspire you to build one of these things for yourself. There you have it. Tool works fine. It was easy to build with just using scrap metal around the shop. You may have noticed that the one pipe had a bend in it. That was not intentional. It was just a piece of pipe I had kicking around. It was the right length, so I wasn't going to cut it to make this tool. And it worked out okay in the long run. So this is one of those tools that you should have on board, and maybe you don't have to. But you hope you never have to use it. Similar to clutch cable, like it's got. I travel with a clutch cable now. Actually, I travel with it all the time now since the Buell let me down a couple of years back. So it's one of those things that is just a little bit extra insurance. When I did drop the bike on purpose, of course, this time, I forgot to put it in gear, so when I did lift it, it was rolling back and forth a little bit, so it made it a little bit weird. And I always get a little nervous when it's at the vertical. When you're on the top point of the arc, I guess, and I'm always concerned that it's going to flip over on the other side, and then I'm back at it again. So this tool just prevents that from happening. Just gives you a little bit of assurance that you're not going to have any more embarrassing issues. And it's one of those things that when you're going to use this tool is when you're traveling by yourself and you drop it, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, I hope no one saw that. And the second thing goes through your mind is, yeah, no one saw it, but there's no one around, so I have to do it by myself. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.